Arrays are an important element of programming in any language, and JavaScript also has them. So let's have a look at arrays in JavaScript. So you'll understand and appreciate this idea of arrays, and also look at some common ways of handling arrays in JavaScript. These are the different functions we're going to look at. So array, what is an array? Basically, it is the idea of a series of boxes, if you want to think in a simple way. And you can put, in JavaScript, you can put anything you like in those boxes, okay? So there's an order to the boxes, and the order starts from 0. So it goes 0, 1, 2, and so on. So that's the basic idea of an array. So let's see an example in JavaScript. Here's an array with 3 elements inside it. There's element 0, element 1, element 2. Very common in computer science to start counting from 0. And that's what we do here, 0, 1, 2. And so that is an array with 3 elements inside it. Create the array and put stuff inside it on one line of code. Here's another example. We're creating an array. It has 10 items, but we haven't actually put anything in that array. Okay, so there's just 10 empty boxes, if you like. So let's look at some things you can do with arrays. Let's start with join. So join is basically showing the content of an array. So there's an array like this, and you say, okay, please join all of those elements together to produce some text, a string. And when you join them together, put this word between each of those items. Okay, so it's going to be dog and cat and rabbit. That is the final result, which is shown here, dog and cat and rabbit. Okay, so it's joining together all those separate elements. Now, you could say, okay, take that array and then join them together and don't have any particular parameter here at all. And if you do that, it will do dog, comma, cat, comma, rabbit. In other words, it uses a comma as the default separator, okay? So nothing there, it's going to use a comma there, okay? So there's join. It's a useful way to kind of convert an array into a text, a list of items. So let's look at getting out of the array. So here's our example array with 3 elements. Let's extract item 2. So there's the name, square brackets, it has to be square brackets, item 2, item 0, item 1, item 2, it will extract item 2, which is rabbit. So that's how you get something out of the array. It's still in the array, but that's how you extract it, so you know what it is. Okay, so let's try that. Let's change it. Start with our array like this, and let's change it. So we say go to that array called pets, find item 2, and then change it to rabbit. Okay, 0, 1, 2, that is now going to become rabbit because we just changed it. So now the whole result will be dog, cat, rabbit. Okay, so we can extract things, we can change things very, very easily. Another thing we can do is ask JavaScript how many things are inside that array. So here's our array, it's got 3 items, we can see that. Of course, it could have 1,000,000 items, there's no reason why not. And we want to check, okay, that array name, pets.length, that will tell us how many things we have in our array. And this particular example, it will show us 3. All right, so very common, you want to manipulate an array. So here's one of the things you might want to do, add something to the end. So one way to add something to the end is to push to the end of the array. So you take the array name, dot push, and then you write whatever you want to add to the end of the array. So now, after that, we have a result, dog, cat, rabbit, hamster, because we've added an extra item on the end. And so the indexing would be 0, 1, 2, 3. Hamster will have item 3, okay? So it's just common sense. Now, that was adding at the end. You can also add at the start. And the way to do that is unshift, okay? So take that array name, unshift by adding hamster. So In other words, that will push everything over to the right and then make a little space, and then hamster goes into the first element. So dog, cat, rabbit will now become, after this, it will become hamster, dog, cat, rabbit. Yeah, we've added it at the start. Okay, what about deleting things? All right, well, let's look at removing from the back, from the end. And so one way to do that is to pop. You take the array name and you say pop the last item. By default, it's the last item. So get the last item and throw it out of the array. So we've got these three things, and then we do pets.pop, and then this item will be taken out of the array. Okay. In fact, it will be taken out of the array, and if you want to, you can actually use it. A result will have the word rabbit inside it. Take it out, put it in here, there's rabbit, it's not in the array anymore. All right, what about the opposite, removing from the front? So removing from the front is shift. We saw unshift before, here is shift. So here's our array, 3 items. Let's do a shift. That means grab dog and then take it out of the array. So now it's just got cat and rabbit left. And then if you want to, you could use it. So we took out dog, and you could put it in a variable and do something with it if you like. The main point is it's taken out of the array. The first item is taken out. All right, now sometimes you have operations with more than one array. Let's look at 2 arrays. And sometimes you want to combine them. So the way to do it is you say array name dot concatenate. You just type concat and then the second array. Okay, concat is short for computer word concatenate, which just means stick together one after the other. All right, so we're going to merge, if you like, these 2 arrays together. We're going to stick them together. So here's our first array right here. We've got 4 items in our first array. Here's our second array right here. We've got 5 items in our second array. We want to merge them together. Okay, let's take this one, pets, and then add on at the end the other one, which is called primes. There we are, primes there. So that will add primes onto the end of the first one, the first array. So now we're going to get dog, cat, rabbit, hamster, 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, all stuck together in one single array. Okay, so those are some common ways to handle arrays in JavaScript.